into a situation, you are almost like an intruder, when you walk into a personal space of somebody's home or street or wherever. And that is one feels a little hesitant, a little uneasy. But once you walk in, then you respond to the situation like a sensitive, responsible human being. I was born and brought up there, and as I tell you, that I am basically a very shy person, and it's easier for me to interact with my own people in my own land, in my own culture, in my own context. And I'm not very outgoing, as I told you, that it takes me quite a while, to go out and meet people, so easily. Even, taking out camera in some serious situations, sometimes I'm so hesitant that it's not so easy that I just take out my camera and start shooting people. So, that respect and that little bit of, hesitation to begin is always there. And India is the right grounds for me. I can feel and smell with my eyes closed. You see, India is a very overcrowded nation, and big cities like Delhi or Calcutta or Varanasi, you go into the streets and multiplicity of activities everywhere. You see, unlike your world, European world, here you can see the streets, there's traffic, or there are vehicles parked and people are moving. In our country, many people have many little shops on the big roads also. Many people are living side by side, even on the footpaths also, and they wind up by the evening and they disappear into nowhere. So almost everything is happening on the streets. Even personal emotions are being shared on the streets, and festivity and religious activities happening on the streets. So when you start seeing India, you go like this, my God, it's like this. It's like this, So, and also, as I said, that in any medium, there comes a saturation point. I mean, the decisive moment, which was something unique, Henri Cartier-Bresson, named it, and then so many other people, Robert Frank, those kind of photographers, Sebastian Salgado is doing, the kind of reportage that he is doing, all beautiful and very valid and very strong, and millions of good images by thousands of photographers have been done. So, the moment, a moment in space is being done to death also, in so many different ways. So, India being a multi-religious, multicultural society and horizontal experience, I feel the experience of India has to be multi-layered, and in one given picture, you must have several moments living together. Not a moment in space, but several moments. So when you look at it, you have so much to connect with. Here, like that. So that, you see, if you ask me, my love for my country is so intense that if you ask me, what would you like to do? What is my ultimate? I'll say, I wish I could photograph the whole of India in one frame, which is not possible. So my frame must get bigger and bigger. My canvas must grow richer. And there should be multiplicity of moments and experiences in one given time. It was easier for me to touch Mother Teresa and be very close to her, because she was a mother of everybody, mother to everybody. But Indira Gandhi, nevertheless, was she was a great leader, and she cared for arts and culture and photographers and photography. There's no doubt about that. But I won't say that I had that kind of close relationship. Certainly she recognized us And I got special appointments also with her when I was doing a book on her. But she was so alert and so careful about what should be photographed and what shouldn't be photographed. I remember and photographing the dead bodies, which was very sad. And then the second point was where the Muslims, they bury their dead, and Hindus burn their dead. So to see what Hindus were doing and what Muslims were doing, because this Bhopal city is 50-50 kind of population. So, we saw that burial of the unknown child, and then, there were so many dead bodies coming that they didn't have time to make separate graves for each individual. So they were digging deep graves, and they will put one body, put some mud on it, put another body, put some mud on it, put another, body, and then cover it up. So it was like three-tier, kind of three-storied grave being dug, because so many were dying. And Hindus, they were burning several of bodies together on a mass pyre, huge blocks of woods, and so many bodies put together being disposed of. You walk through the streets and you see dead animals, cows, buffaloes, dogs, and it was stinking, it was terrible, and the worst was the silence everywhere. There was a silence of death, like they say, dead silence. We want dead silence. So there was silence of death everywhere. And that was more shocking, than the death itself, because nobody had a word to share with each other anymore. It was all death all the way. And then the second part is when, after 18 long years, Greenpeace, they wanted me to go to Bhopal and see people were still dying. I said, come on, you can't give me the story after 18 long years. So one discovered, the first 3 days, about 8,000 people were dead. And in 18 years, over 21,000 people had died. So this was the other part of the story. And also after 18 years, when you go back to photograph the victims, it was very important for me as a photojournalist that whosoever I photograph, they are actual victims of the gas and not old sick people, And we made sure that they were all registered victims at the Memorial Hospital. And you could see the death in their eyes. And some of the families, they had sold off their homes so that they could get enough medicine and get their father or their husband treated. And yet they were dying. The worst thing about it was that when the gas leaked, the Union Carbide, they said, well, it is like, tear gas. You put white wet cloth on your face and you'll be all right. Till today, they haven't given the analysis of the gas. And there is no remedy, no antidote, no solution for it. And, there are all kinds of stories floating around about it. One is that actually the Union Carbide plant had lived its life, and it should have been shut down long ago. Now, between the ministers